Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S. Back here with part 2 of this video. Hope as well. Hope you got a chance to check out part 1 of this video, and I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully you'll enjoy this one and part 3 as well. I was thinking of doing, trying to find out about, again, I always go through a list of 30. I was thinking of trying to find out about 30 different businesses in Asia, and also 30 different Asian entrepreneurs, because I didn't know it was Africa Day till yesterday itself, or till the day before, so I didn't really, like from last week I planned to do stuff about Asia, so I didn't have any plans to talk about Africa, but I suppose if there was enough hours in the day, I would do stuff about, talk about 30 different African and 30 different Asian business people, and also different businesses as well, but obviously time is limited. But I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to that or not, but I'll do my best. So anyway, onto the list. Number 11, I have to do the best, obviously, with the time I've got, and thinking about my goals of why I want to talk about Africa and Asia and how I want to empower them. I hope that I can raise the profile of their entrepreneurs and YouTubers, projects, engineering projects and other such projects that they do, and empower those nations, especially African and Asian nations, how they can work together, and also to raise the profile of Asian and African inventors, and just support them as much as I can in every possible way. As I say, by raising their profile, also that hopefully will give people confidence to look at the positive things about what Asian and African nations have invented and done, sometimes with limited resources and things like that. So something for people who are of Asian background and African background to be proud of around the diaspora, and especially in Asia and Africa itself. So I hope it will empower them as much as possible. And I say, I'm not a big fan of magic, but if I had a magic wand, I would do videos about the profile of African and Asian entrepreneurs. And if I don't get around to do so today, I might do so next week or something like that, or some other day. Next week being the start of June as well, so that's maybe it could be for a new month, but as soon as possible I will hopefully find out about 30 Asian entrepreneurs, also enterprise like Tata, Alibaba and organizations like that, and help to raise their profile and talk about them, and maybe find out some information about them and just generally support them, and also possibly 30 less known Asian and African entrepreneurs, as well as looking at some of the and maybe that's an idea for other YouTubers to cover as well, if I don't get around to it, who might have more resources than me, or are better at being organized, or can actually do some of the research more in a better way than I can. So any Asian or African entrepreneur who wants to take on these ideas and put them into practice is welcome to do so, as long as they do so for the benefit of Asian Africa, which is what these videos are intended for. So that's the intention. So if any Asian or African YouTuber sees this and wants to do videos based on these ideas, then I'll welcome them, as long as I say, as long as some of the profits at least go towards benefiting Asia and Africa, or preferably all the profits. Anyway, number 12, on that note, I hope to look at reasons to be proud to be Asian or African, respectively, or for the global Black or Asian diaspora, to look at what, not in an arrogant way, but what makes them proud. As I say, I've seen videos about, or things about, like websites about proud to be Indian. Again, hopefully not in an arrogant way, but what can make them proud to be Indian or Chinese or the rest of Asia and Africa. And I was thinking, actually, I forgot to say in point number 11, if I had the opportunity, as I say, I'm not a big fan of magic, but if I had the magic wand, or if I had enough time, or I was organized enough, or whatever, basically for whatever reason the opportunity arose, I would do profiles of 30 entrepreneurs from every possible Asian and African nation as well. Number 13, I also hope to look at, I wish I had more energy as well, but I also hope to look into some of the admittedly rather negative things about Asia and Africa, and some of the divisions that they have, unfortunately, with each other. Like Asian nations don't always get on well with other Asian nations, and same for Africa, unfortunately, which I think is a shame. And also some of the prejudice that exists, especially in Asia, and probably even in Africa as well, which I think is a shame. And I'd love to strengthen the relations. I think it's a shame that they don't always get along well and work together. 14, I hope that they'll work together, Asian and African nations, uh, as much as possible to work to solve problems and support each other's projects. And you've got like approximately 5 billion people, and many more from the diaspora, who can um, look at how to solve problems and help each other. And Asia has about 60% of the world's population alone. So if they work together to solve problems, I think hopefully they could do a lot of great stuff for each other and for the rest of the world as well, and lift people out of poverty and things like that. So I think that'd be great. And again, inventions and scientists could look into how to solve those problems. And again, entrepreneurs could do similar stuff as well, and also make money for it, for their continent and their country respectively as well, the nations respectively. Number 15, again, I hope to look at how Asia and Africa can share goals as well, and share experiences, share information, and just generally network together on all possible projects. I know I specifically wish to focus, when it comes to technology, I specifically wish to focus on Africa and Indigenous Australasians, but in other areas, I wish to support Asian African, like I wish to support as many Asian and African YouTubers as possible, watch as many of their videos, and just generally support them as much as I can, subscribe to as many of them as possible, and also as they raise their profile, and just support them in every possible way, and maybe even like do reaction videos on their channels, which hopefully will again raise their profile and support them, and as well as donating to them if I can. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I hope to raise the awareness about dyslexia and dyspraxia, ADHD, and different, and autism, and strengths of such conditions as well as the weaknesses, and how a dyslexic person might not be very good in the classroom but could be good in other areas, and that sort of thing. Number 16, I hope to look into all possible ideas that other people might share, and how and different ideas about what could empower Asia and Africa. And I think I've talked about POC, people of color supporting each other, but when it comes to immigration and things like that, I think that illegal immigration, or anything that's illegal or breaking law, should be discouraged. So I think only legal migration should be encouraged. And also it does mean a brain drain from Asia and Africa. So I think it would be good if people from the diaspora could support training for people in Africa and Asia. Maybe Asian and African politicians should be encouraged to give more human rights and a better quality of life for people, so that they don't have to risk their lives traveling. And also some of the more smart people like doctors and scientists and entrepreneurs that can help build Asian and African economies. Unfortunately, I think so many of them leave. Like I've heard of people from Somalia who are really good at technology, but unfortunately they leave the continent. I think that's a real big shame. I think that's something that should be, I think Asian and African nations, the politicians should be encouraged to support their people more, so that people won't want to leave and risk life and limb and injuries and things like that. And also it can stop the brain drain from leaving those countries, nations, and whatever. Number 17, I hope to encourage creativity and innovation in Asia and Africa, and also listen to stories that come from those nations across as many Asian and African nations as possible, and how they can work together, share ideas, and just collaborate on every possible project, and that sort of thing. Number 18, I hope for people from Asia and Africa to talk about positive things about their nations and each other's nations, and how to increase the relation between them, and like what they have in common and reasons to work together, and that sort of thing, and learn about positive affirmations. Sorry if I'm repeating a lot of these points. I do have bad habits, so I apologize for that if I am doing so. But number 19, I hope to encourage big tech like Microsoft to train up software developers, just like Andela does. And I know I repeat a lot of these points, so I apologize for that, but I think that sometimes if you repeat them, if they're really important points, they might be worth repeating, because the more you repeat them, maybe the more people can work on them and make them happen. Number 20, this is a challenge. Like, I think that with I talked about how I wish for Africa to train people in Asia in terms of technology, but at the same time, like to do for trade deals. But I hope they'll negotiate together. So with all my tech ideas, I've mainly hoped to support people from Africa. But if people from Asia train people in Africa in terms of technology, then I don't think the trade deal should be that Asia gets access to all their markets and all their land and everything else, and that Africa shouldn't get any of those other deals as well. So I think they should support each other in all the possible, all the same sort of projects. So Asian and African YouTubers could support each other towards a mutual benefit, and also like discuss who should have access to what resources and what land, but somehow have technology in the for Africa in the deal. So I don't know if that made sense, but I'd love to know what you think, and what ideas you have and any feedback you have. And if you support this channel, I really want to give you a thanks if you made it this far, and just generally if you support my channel. Peace and love.